Oh, Sharon, you've just got to hear this. While we were making our way through town, Crystal got scouted again. She is such a looker, isn't she? What a beauty! How many times has this happened to us? Let me see. Oh, I give up. There are just too many. What are you texting me about? When I go out with Crystal, this is always what happens. All those agents, they're not thinking about how much of an effort it is to turn them down each time. We get so much attention. Today, the talent scout said to me, "Why don't you just sign up to our modeling agency together with your daughter?" Somewhat flattering, I guess. And now I need to figure out what to do with the business cards he gave us. But this is not quite the right opportunity yet. Wait a minute, Mom. Does that mean you're out of the house right now? Yes, I'm out doing some shopping with Crystal and your father. Actually, today one of my favorite clothing brands was having an event to announce their new line for the spring. I brought Crystal along with me. She needs to learn about these kinds of things. A beautiful child like Crystal needs to know all the best in fashion, so she won't end up being ashamed. She'll have to be on top of all the trends to be the kind of star I know she can be. Wait a minute. You've got to be kidding. You know you made plans with me today, don't you? You promised me that you'd be with me at home at this time today. I asked you to make time to meet with my fiancé. What's happened with that? Oh, was that today? Yes, today. What are you thinking? And I specifically mentioned it to you yesterday, that I needed your time. Obviously, that's not going to happen anymore since you're not home right now. Oh my goodness. That event must have just slipped my mind. What can you do when there are so many important things to take care of? Kyle went through a lot of work to open up time for you, and he's a busy man. Kyle? Is that your fiancé's name? Yes, that's my fiancé. Why are you going out on the very day that I was arranging to bring him over? I told you before that he was coming to ask for my hand in marriage. And yet you decided to selfishly switch plans to check out some new clothes or whatever it is you're doing. Where are your priorities? Or are you that scatterbrained? That doesn't seem like you. Well, you're aware that it's not like we were asking for him to come. He was the only one invested in doing this. Oh, I guess you would be as well. We had no stake in getting this meeting done today. No, the way I see it, he's in the wrong for doing it on the same day that the new fashion line was coming out. It's a matter of priorities. What are you saying? First of all, don't you think that you need to apologize to Kyle and me? You canceled your time with us with no notice at all. He's been waiting for this day for so long. He's been practicing what he's going to say to you in front of the mirror all week. Do you just not care about me at all? I see no need to apologize here. Why is it that we should be interested in your fiancé in the first place? He clearly just doesn't get it. Here's a man who doesn't have the sense not to marry such an ugly woman as you. How can I respect someone like that? I don't see why we need to honor this time commitment with him. No, this is not worth our time. What? I can't believe your attitude. Your calling me ugly is really harmful, but I can deal with it. You've done it for years. I'm more than accustomed to it. But you have no idea what my fiancé is like. Don't insult him before you even meet him. You don't even know him or know about him. But isn't it a fact that he has no sense? Here we have a gorgeous daughter, Crystal, and he goes and picks an ugly duckling like you. There must be a problem with his eyes or his head to go and do something like that. They may say love is blind, but not that blind. I guess it's true. There's simply no accounting for taste. No, there's no way I can respect him when he goes and does this. What? You know what? I've just come to a decision. I have no interest of ever meeting him at all. In fact, why even get married? What's the point? You should probably just call that off entirely. After all, no one will have any interest in a wedding between two ugly freaks. It's just a waste of time for everyone. Here I am, sitting here, watching what you're writing. You have no limits to what you will say, do you? Just writing whatever the hell you want to. I've had enough of this abuse. It's one thing to trash talk me, which I'm unfortunately used to, but I won't let you talk about him that way. You are the ones who are welching on your commitment to meet Kyle. You're seriously messed up if you care that little about my life. And you say no one would care about my wedding? You seem to forget that I have friends in this world who will want to wish me well. I've known for a while how little you care about me, but this is too much. I am your older daughter, after all. What are you thinking right now? Don't you feel any remorse as a mother for talking to your child this way? No, not at all. Not if my daughter is an ugly beast like you. What would I care for a daughter too ugly to resemble anyone else in this family? I guess I had to raise you since I gave birth to you, but that's as far as it goes. I've done my bit to serve your needs. You're a grown woman. Yes, I have no interest in, or even affection for, you. Why couldn't you be half as beautiful as Crystal? You've made yourself perfectly clear. I never expected you would go and say it flat out in that way. Now you've said that, I guess I can just give up on you. You see, I really don't care about your wedding at all. Would be just a waste of time to meet with Carl, Cyril, Kyle. I already forgot that guy's name. Like I've said, there's no value in meeting with a man who set his sights so low that he would get married with someone as ugly as you. Frankly, I can't see any. You've made your point. Insulting me any more than you have already isn't necessary. Well then, I'm telling you now. Don't you dare come to my wedding. There will be no place for you there. Why would I be coming anyway? That's fine. Nobody from our family will be coming to your wedding. Now I've been showing these texts to Crystal and Dad during our conversation. They have no issues with what I'm writing. All right then. We'll do the ceremony for ourselves, at the time of our own choosing, so don't be thinking of coming. And one more thing, don't bother ever contacting me again. I never want to speak with you from now on. You don't need to tell us. That's the only good thing you've said this whole conversation. No loss for us. Well now, I guess the three of us can eat out together now. A party to celebrate cutting out the ugly duckling. Kyle, I'm just so sorry about today. I really didn't think things would end up like this. How could they cancel out like that at the last moment? Although now, I guess I've got to expect something like that from them. But how could they be so hurtful? I know what an effort it was on your part to make the time.
You don't have to worry about that. I know how hard your family has been. You've let me know about them in the past. You don't need to apologize for anything, especially for the way they've acted. None of this is your fault. If anything, I should be the one to say sorry for causing all this mess. It's my fault for wanting to come and meet them. It just shows how toxic a family can be. But we can do better than them.
But still, it's got to be an imposition on you.
We can think of something else instead. Think of the years we can spend together, enjoying each other. Just take this as an opportunity to think positively about our future together. First of all, this means your parents have no say regarding the upcoming wedding, right?
That's true.
So we can just go down to the courthouse and tie the knot right now. We can leave the big ceremony for a bit later.
You know, that really is true. My parents and my sister were like, do whatever you want. We have no interest at all. How could they do that? It's all so horrible.
We can put an end to this together. Look, let's get hitched this Friday. After all, it's our anniversary together. You remember how wonderful our first date together was?
How could I ever forget? You know, in fact, this could be a wonderful plan.
And my parents have heard about this, and are saying that's the better way to go. We should make our love official, and then have the ceremony soon after that. So then they can go ahead and make the announcement that I will be the next CEO of our company. That's why they want this to move along quickly. There's a lot riding on this, after all.
Yeah, I know they've been waiting to make the announcement. I feel bad for keeping them waiting, but I guess we won't have to anymore.
It even bugs me somewhat, how that means I have to hurry up with everything else in my life. But that's the breaks, being the boss's son. They've been asking about what kind of wedding you want. I've mentioned this before, but they absolutely want to give you the perfect wedding.
They're so much nicer to me than my actual parents.
Yeah, they've gone off and got a really big place for the ceremony. If we don't look out, they'll be choosing everything for us. If they had their way, they'd be choosing our kids' names.
That would really be getting into our business. Do you think your parents would really go that far?
Well, we just need to go ahead and decide on some things, before they all get decided for us. And to go ahead and tie the knot right now. You don't have any issues with that, do you, hun?
Wow, I sense the pressures on you, being the son of a CEO. So, yes, let's get in front of a judge before the weekend.
And after finishing that up, we could look at venues for the wedding ceremony. I think I've actually found a number of places you may love. So why don't we go and look at them? They're all so beautiful, so let's go.
No time like the present to get things done, huh? Like father, like son. So I'm looking forward to it this Friday.
Right. I'll get in touch with you later. See you on Friday.
Hey, Sharon. Say the word and get us into your wedding venue, quickly. Why are there security guards all over this place anyway? It's getting cold out here. Why isn't the family of the bride allowed to enter? The staff here are going on about how we need an invitation to get in. How could that be? What? Why are you here? What's going on? You were never given any information about the time or place for the ceremony, right? What are you doing here? Why, you invited Grace from our neighborhood, right? I just happened to run into her mother at the supermarket and got all the details on the wedding from her. She was saying how impressed she was at this venue you got for the wedding. I can see why now. This place is definitely grand. But I'm amazed. Why would you be at a place that's this fancy? I've got to say, I'm impressed. Now I get it. Grace did say she was quitting her job and living back at home. And that's where the word got out. Grace's mother told me that the groom's the son of a CEO, and he's in line to take over for his father. You should have told me that already. You're getting involved with a VIP's family, and you didn't think to tell me? What sort of daughter have I raised that she wouldn't tell me these things? Look, you need to just go on home. You're absolutely not getting inside. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I broke all ties with you, back when you said those awful things to me. What gives you the gall to invite yourself to an event which you said you absolutely wouldn't go to? How awful of you, telling your family who's come out for your wonderful occasion to go on home. Who ever heard of such a thing? The bride's family not being at the wedding. Our presence will keep you from being embarrassed, so let us in already. You'll be cutting a pretty poor figure without us. Tell them to let us through. How can you be talking about the bride's family? You should remember that you said that you had no interest at all in my wedding. Why the sudden desire to be here? Shouldn't you be embarrassed to be scuttling over here just because you hear my bridegroom's the son of a CEO? You are that shallow, aren't you? Come on now. You have no interest or affection for your ugly daughter, right? I seem to remember those words. I happen to know your fascination with getting time with the rich and powerful, but this takes the cake when you have no real interest in me. Why should I want people like that participating in my wedding? It makes no sense. You sure have plenty to say, all right. Just pipe down and let us in for the wedding. Of course, in your heart of hearts, you're happy your family is here. If you don't let us in now, we'll all leave when you really want us there. Are you sure you want it that way? Please go ahead and leave right now. You think I'm happy that you're here? How could you get that idea in your head? No, it makes me really sad. Don't you see how embarrassing it would be for me? For his friends and his family to see just what kind of people you are? To see just how shallow, vapid, and status-seeking you are. There's just no way to hide your real character, you know. What are you saying? You're the ugly one here, and you dare to say that we are an embarrassment? That's exactly what you are. All this time, you've been kicking me to the curb, calling me ugly or saying to my face that you have no caring for me. But when you hear your daughter's partner-to-be is the son of a CEO, you just want to be here to get in his good graces, make use of his connections. I've got to say, I'm really embarrassed that you are my family. How dare you say that, you ugly runt? You shouldn't get so high and mighty, thinking you've got a cushy situation now. No matter how cushy you think things are, you're still ugly, and that will never change. This marriage hasn't made you into some kind of VIP. Why should I think that way? No, that's how you think. I'm not here to put on airs because I'm married to the son of the CEO. You should know me better than that. But no, you've never taken the time to know me. You only see things that are skin deep. Oh, really? I just know that ugly people want to find some way of projecting a good image for themselves. Of course, after you get married, you'll be boasting of being the wife of the upcoming CEO. That's what you're hoping for, right? Are you hearing me at all? Just to let you know, your hubby is no great shakes at all. So what if he's the son of a CEO? I'm sure he's nothing to write home about. He clearly has no sense, going and making a dog like you his wife. If a man like that inherited a company, it would go belly up in 5 seconds. After all, you can't take any pride in becoming the wife of a man who's into ugly women.
What are you saying to my wife?
What?
What do you mean by calling my wife a dog? I'm amazed you can be talking like that on the day of our wedding.
You wrote, my wife. Am I speaking to the groom now? Your name was Kyle, wasn't it? So you're Sharon's new husband, Kyle?
That's right. I realize this is our first encounter. This is only through texting, so we're not properly introduced. Yes, I happen to be Kyle, who just got married to your daughter, Sharon.
You can introduce yourself later. Look, could you just get us into the ceremony? Sharon must be going through a phase. She was stopping us from getting in right now.
We have no need for you here. I would like to ask you to go on home.
What?
I know about you, and you just don't fit in with our wedding. You must be aware you are not welcome here. If you won't move along, I'll have to tell the security guards to escort you off the premises.
Wait a minute. As the new husband, you are going to throw out the family of the bride?
Yes, if you don't leave within 10 seconds. That's 10. 9.
What? How can you do this to the mother of your new bride? If you throw us out, then we can't let you marry our daughter. Are you okay with that?
Actually, you have no right to do that, and you're in no position to do that. We already have our marriage license in hand. Not that you would know, of course, because you've cut off all ties with Sharon. And my parents are already treating Sharon like their daughter. For a family that only had boys up to this point, Sharon is bringing something new to us.
What? Sharon has an in with your family?
So you see, any threats on your part have no effect on us.
So you've not just married her. Your parents are taking to her as if she was their daughter.
That's precisely the case. My parents and my brothers love what Sharon's bringing into the family.
How could that be?
You see, my parents wanted to support Sharon when they heard how badly you were treating her, casting her to the side, telling her only that she was ugly for all these years. In fact, when they heard about it, they were even angrier than I was. They couldn't believe how you would discriminate against your own daughter, where you get off treating her like dirt all these years. So they've brought in Sharon to be like their own daughter. It's as if they adopted her into the family. They said they have no desire to make her have to deal with parents like you.
What do they think they can do with our daughter? How can you be all high and mighty and saying such terrible things about us? So, you and your parents, how dare you say such things? Just because you happen to control a company.
What makes you say that? It just seems to me that they're showing some care for Sharon, who's just become the wife of their son.
Huh! Your father may be some kind of CEO, but I'm sure it's some teeny tiny company. Just because you're the heir to a company, which must be a mom-and-pop operation, you can't act all grand all of a sudden. Just when we were making all this effort to take part in this affair. How could you be so insolent?
I don't see where this all is coming from, but I'm sorry if my words troubled you. It's true that our company doesn't have a nationwide presence. Our operations are mainly within state, so I guess you could call us a small company. But we do have the highest sales performance in our state in the industry.
Oh, really? Number one in your state?
You might know us from our advertising on local TV and radio stations. My father's company is Grizzly Housing.
What? Grizzly Housing?
I believe that's where Sharon's father is employed as well. I guess I should thank you for his contribution to our company.
It can't be. Wait. So the company where my husband is employed is run by your father? I had no idea. You must be joking. It can't be true.
The ceremony's about to start, so please excuse me. I need to ask that you make your way back home. Quickly, now. I've already called the guards. If you're going to stay around, they will force you to leave the area. You really must go.
Sharon! Couldn't you think to tell us beforehand? How were we to know that you were marrying the son of the CEO of the company where Dad works? And that he'll be the one taking over for his father someday? How dare you not let us know? You really have no grounds for being angry. I tried to let you know before, when we made the appointment to tell you about our marriage. But it was you who refused to meet with us, right? I figured you wouldn't believe my words about Kyle if you just saw it in a text, so I was going to let you know directly. Quickly! I need to apologize to Kyle and his parents, or I have no idea what will happen. Sharon, do set up a dinner meeting right now. We'll all be there, apologizing to the family right away. This is a disaster. We've got to set this straight. Kyle's parents are right here looking on, and they're telling me there's no need for an apology. You have to be thinking of Dad's situation. Kyle's parents are saying they don't mix family matters with business, so you don't have to worry. What? They're right by you! Of course they would be. They've been treating me like a daughter. Remember what Kyle texted you? Then there'll be no need for a dinner to offer our apologies. Oh, in that case, there's something I'd like you to request from them. You'll do that, won't you? Ask for your sister Crystal to be used in one of their commercials. Say what? After everything that's going on right now, you seriously think asking that is a good idea? What? Don't you know that being in Grizzly Housing commercials is the path to success? All the starlets who cut their teeth on commercials with Grizzly have gone on to big things. Oh, really? Brittany Smith and Jessica Gordon both started there. They even gave rise to stars who got on major Netflix shows. That's right. All of them were on Grizzly ads before they made their big break. They all hit the big time after that. Well, what do you know? This is why I kept Crystal out of the clutches of all those modeling agencies for all this time. Because I wanted to get her into one of the major talent agencies. Getting her chosen for a commercial right off the bat, and then right into a major talent agency. With a Cinderella story like that, she could become famous in an instant. What an opportunity. So yes, I'll plead to you. Please ask his parents for this. It's only fitting for your sister. And that's what's first on your mind? You can only think about Crystal. You're amazing. Sorry to disappoint you, but I have no intention of asking for that. Now you're trying to use me. I'm not going along with that. Why should I? Come on! Do it for your family. You're getting in the way of making a powerful connection that could lead to great opportunities. I've asked your father for this so many times. Just one little ad from Grizzly. But he just says there's no way. Well, yeah, Dad's just one of the regular employees at Grizzly. There's no way that would happen for a regular employee who has no responsibility over its commercials. But now we can say that Crystal is the sister-in-law of the son of the CEO. Crystal is gorgeous enough to get scouted every other day. So of course she'll look great on TV. So I'm begging you, Sharon. If your sister becomes a star, isn't that a feather in your cap? Of course you should get involved, as her sister. You're begging me to get involved on behalf of that dog? You say Crystal has a look for television? She'll instantly become famous from one commercial? There's no way that will happen with her mediocre looks. I think your perception of what's beautiful and what's ugly is completely warped. Excuse me? I know which is which, thank you very much. What are you saying about our cute little Crystal? Just saying what I think. Listen, Mom. Do you happen to have any idea what kind of work I do? What about your work now? No, you'd have no idea, would you? Since you have no interest in me whatsoever. Look, I work at a major advertising firm. And that includes being involved in the division that produced commercials. I've met lots of stars, working along with the photographers. And that's why I can say with certainty there is no way Crystal will become a star. I mean, Crystal's not as much of a beauty as you make her out to be. What? How could you, the ugly duckling that you are, say those things about Crystal? Yes, I know you see me as ugly. From the earliest days that I can remember, you kept on telling me that I was ugly. So I had no confidence in myself, and I envied Crystal for her beauty. But, having seen lots of stars through being with my company, my view on things has really been transformed. I realized I just need to find those little bits of cuteness within me. And that Crystal, who you doted upon all those years, isn't as beautiful as you think. There are oodles of stars on her level. Or better said, in comparison to the average starlet, she's somewhat ugly. What are you saying? Listen to me carefully, if that's even possible for you. In the world of stars, the only ones who will remain are the true beauties. Being a true beauty means more than a nicely polished outside. You have to have beauty on the inside as well. The agencies and the sponsors are after the whole package. And those starlets whose inner character is ugly, they're the ones that disappear the quickest. You've got vast sums of money being used to make commercials, and the people who make them are very careful. No matter how much of a front you put up, an ugly character will show up immediately. There's no way around it. And no offers will come in offering you work at all. How dare you say that, you dog? What do you mean, calling my cute little Crystal ugly on the inside? I never should have asked you to do this in the first place. You're just stuck up now that you've married well. I'm disowning you. I never want to see your face again. We parted ways long ago, Mom. You know that. Yep, I'm never seeing you again. So you can be happy about that. I'll just continue to live as Kyle's wife and as a daughter to his family. I get the feeling it will be a good life. So, happy trails to you, and no meeting again. After that, my mother, madder than hell, pulled my sister around for audition after audition with the major talent agencies. But it ended up a complete flop. My mother, blowing her top over these results, shouted at one of the judges at the audition, "How could my daughter not pass?" And that wasn't all. She went after him even harder. "There's no way this could happen. Give me one good reason why she should fail." So the judge answered her, "There's nothing that shines about this kid. I do believe she's pretty, but the public is not going to fall in love with her. Tell me, Hasn't she spent her time looking down on everyone else around her? That habit of looking down on everyone else just oozes out of her pores. There's nothing more that can be done. Or that's what I'm told, he said. Just when I thought my mother was a nutcase, she went and did something even more insane than I could have imagined. She took all the money her and my dad had, then took out a loan to open up their own talent agency to try and get my sister famous. However, I hear the agency she set up went belly up in about 5 seconds. Now, I am looking forward to supporting Kyle as he works toward being CEO in the future, expanding the business into new states. And a new daughter is on the way, who we will be naming ourselves, thank you very much. Yes, we're planning for a big family, and I've promised myself that each child will be truly valued and have my affection.